everyone. It is Wednesday. How are you tonight? Welcome to Wednesday night. Wednesday night, I'm telling you. It is Hump Day. Welcome to Wednesday, people. It is. How are you tonight? What are you grateful for this Wednesday night? I'm grateful that I got dinner in before this. It's the small things in life, people. It's always the small things. Hey, Kitty, how are you? Those are sharp-looking 30th anniversary bags. Sharp-looking in the remarkable resale blue. They don't have me feeling blue. I'm in blue tonight. Good to have you with us. Hey, Adele and Dazzle. It is treat time. Welcome, everybody. What are you all grateful for tonight? It is Hump Day. Welcome to Hump Day. You are making it over this hump. You are making it over this hump. A warm cat on your lap. Fair enough, Kitty. Fair enough. I think the warm dog is nipping at Cassandra and Rebecca's heels right now as they eat dinner. But I think he smells chicken. Smells chicken. There's chicken in the house. But it is good to have you all here. I'm sorry that implies, Kitty, that I have cool weather coming my way. If you are happy about a warm cat, that means that it is cooler there tonight. Yay, Adele! Congratulations on your second vax. You got your second vaccination. All right. That is so important. I am very happy to hear that. Very happy to hear that. We are broadcasting tonight on both Facebook and YouTube. Any Facebook issues, you can hop right on over. Cassandra put the YouTube link in the show comments. So feel free, if you're having any Facebook issues, to hop on over there. Well, quit by text. Well, you know, Kitty, I'm sorry to hear that she departed, but it really, you know, at the end of the day, it's better to for them to understand that it's not right for them sooner versus later, you know. So that it didn't go on for months and months is better than it happening now. It's never fun, but it's better that it happened now. So, but I do feel for you. I have on my list to update our hiring ads for a couple of positions tomorrow. But even with some of our holes, you know, as we looked at some of our holes, you know, we are in, you know, really good shape. You know, I mean, we got a lot of things going the right direction with the staff that we do have. We have holes, and it would be better if we didn't. But the team we do have is the people that are performing are really performing well. So I'm excited about that, and I'm excited to have them as part of the team. The hard part is with some of our process right now is getting the whole assembly line. So going the way that we like to run an assembly line with our various COVID schedules. Well, that is true, Kitty. I could jinx myself, but the biggest problem is really our assembly line process and sort of the COVID schedules right now, because of the different things that schools are doing or working around the kids and everything else is more complex than it normally is. So that's our biggest fight, you know. But I played with you know, a couple of my people that I want to start extending our hours again. You know, we still have not resumed our normal pre-COVID hours, and I was going to dip our toe in it on one night where we have some of our night people just working anyways, working on projects and things, and say, let's open the doors and see what happens. And I got a little bit of pushback, but we're gonna test it one night a week just to see what happens. But let's get started tonight with the good morning. Hey, Sherry, it is great to have you here live tonight. Great to have you here live tonight. Tonight, let's get started in the Good Morning, Good Night book. The Good Morning, Good Night book is how we get started. Tonight, I am on page 108. Good morning. You are stunning. Use your power wisely. Use your power wisely. With great power comes great responsibility, people. Use your power wisely. Let's see what we got going on tonight. Let's see what we got going on this hump day. Oops, I'm probably going to need the glasses again. Probably going to need the glasses again. I love this. I love Simon's quote. You know, most of the time I don't read this until I'm reading it. You know, I mean, so I am like reading it first time when I hop on here. A lot of times I organize all my piles and everything, but I don't always know everything that's in it. So Simon's quote tonight: to overcome our challenges, all that is required is the courage to ask for help. To overcome our challenges, all that is required is the courage to ask for help. Nobody gets it done alone. Nobody. Okay? Even in a solo sport. Okay? Even in a solo sport, they have great coaches and great people behind them and people inspiring them. Hey, Barb Gallows here from Pittsburgh tonight. Great to have you with us tonight live. So take that quote to heart. You know, everybody's got a helper. Everybody's got somebody. Okay, you didn't do this all by yourself. Okay, I mean, you did the crazy thing, which was just, okay, I'm going to go out there and hang up a sign and open my business and borrow money from my friends, take my family savings, whatever you're doing. Did, okay, you know, that takes a special kind of lunatic, okay, but, you know, we all do it with help, okay, we're all, everybody is helping everybody, so that's what I love about that. Those of you that are glasses wearers, especially ones that wear it all the time, I mean, I just wear it to read, small print. Hey, Kelly, great to have you here tonight in New Mexico on this hump day, okay, you know, the mask wearing, you know, isn't going away in most parts of the country with the lift and restrictions. But, you know, you end out with that fogging up your glasses when you're wearing it. Did you know that the answer to the fogging up glasses was right in your bra? I am not making this up. It sounds like I'm going off on a tangent. I know Adele is like, oh my God, what is he talking about? How do we cut him off? This is true. I am not making this stuff up. You got to remember, I am not creative enough to make any of this stuff up. Okay? And I remember the man's ear. Okay? The man's ear. But this startup company called the sticky masks. This company was producing Perkies, a stick-on bra without traditional straps. Okay, you know, which has faced setbacks in the relaxed atmosphere of the pandemic. Okay. The Perkies company has setbacks, but the adhesive that they use also works on masks. And so now they have stickies, a mask. So you can get stickies, an adhesive liner on your masks, okay? And that creates a seal that doesn't come off like pulling off a Band-Aid and keeps your glasses from fogging up. I am not making this up. This is a Rhode Island-based company. Okay, and A pack of 10 pack of 10 masks, a pack of 10 sticky masks is only $18. Okay, Stickies from the company that brought you Perkies, the stick-on bra. I can't make this stuff up. I can't make this stuff up. And speaking of which, not for the cat lovers here, for those dog lovers, okay? Do you want your pup to be famous? We're looking for the goodest. Your dog's paw face could be on millions of bud cans sold across the country this fall. Okay? Share a photo of your dog and it can become the face of our new can. Not every pup can make it on a bud can, but all of them can look stylish. And you can shop now for your gear for your dog. Rose, you're making me laugh. I love it. I love it. But yes, you think we can get Max on a can of Bud? Max on a can of Bud. Well, it's a removable adhesive, Rose, so it's supposed to keep it so you can be glasses wearing. I don't know. I can't make this stuff up. It's from the maker of the stick-on bra. Okay, I can't. I know the straps and stuff aren't comfortable. I get that. They had Spuds McKenzie, and now they can have. I mean, this one looks too adorable for Bud. The one that they have as a sample there. It looks too cutesy. I don't know how I'm going to get a picture of Max for that. I'll have to hold some chicken somewhere to get that. But I love that you're here, Rose. That's that raw either. All right. Retail stocks are surging. Why are they surging? Because Florida and New York are announcing plans to lift COVID restrictions. The number of retail stocks surged Monday, or this week actually, as investors are looking for ways to buy into the economy reopening. Dillard's closed up nearly 10%. Gap shares hit a 52-week high. A 7% gain for Macy's, Nordstrom, and Kohl's, all under the day higher. Analysts are saying that apparel spending is poised to benefit from pent-up demand and new fashion trends coming out of the health crisis. The health crisis, like you can't wear sweatpants to go out all the time. When you're only seen from here up, okay, dental work is important and stuff, okay? But now when they're going to see all of you, okay, you're going to need new clothes, and that's okay. I'm okay with new clothes. And that's going to benefit so many in this industry. The bump that, furniture stores have been talking about and everything is coming to clothing stores. Okay, that bump is coming and coming fast and furious if you have the inventory. That's the other problem with this, is these chains do not have the inventory. These stocks on Wall Street do not have the inventory. They have supply chain issues. You do not have supply chain issues. Your supply chain is local. Your job is to get it on the floor and get it sold. Yeah, I've seen people use the Band-Aid method, and actually a company here, actually one of my former landlords makes a stick-on mask for hairstylists. They made it for people so that they wouldn't have the straps while you're getting your hair done. They make a one-time use mask that actually comes on like a roll of labels. I thought that was really innovative for those in the hair salon industry. Hey, Krita, how are you tonight from the great state of Texas? Great to have you here. But while things are improving in retail, so it's not equal for all. Brookfield Properties is giving 3 malls back to the bank, and this is something you have to be careful of right now. And I was talking with my accountant about it today because he's had a lot of issues with small landlords getting out in this last year. Small landlords selling their property and getting out of the landlord business. And so Brookfield giving 3 of their malls back to the bank, not really a big deal in the whole scheme of things. But you could end out with a different landlord right now. And so the most important thing with that is actually having a lease agreement or anything that you've agreed with your landlord on in writing. That's the key to this. Should you end out with a different landlord because they're foreclosed on or something else, having your lease agreement in writing, not on a handshake. And I'm a handshake kind of guy, but I back it up with writing. All the principles that are, everything that I do is based on a handshake. But backing it up in writing is extremely important, especially as landlords are going through a difficult time. And, that was one of the discussions with my accountant today, that he said that he was having problems with different clients with today. So just something to keep in mind. Dick's keeps on. I'm wondering how this is going to work for Dick's. Dick's Sporting Goods continues to diversify, and they're adding yet another concept store. Dick's Going Gone will offer surprising deals on unique finds and footwear and apparel from the brands customers have enjoyed shopping at Dick's over the years. It's sort of a clearance thing. Yeah, well, I appreciate that you now have a written one because of the idol, even though they changed that requirement now too. But and that was actually more of a PPP requirement to have a written lease, but they amended that later on. But we're in more money May, so there's going to be more money. On Cinco de Mayo. Yeah, I'm just still in actually having a lease agreement because, in all the people that I've worked with, and that's very unusual, going 29 years on a handshake, Kitty, and I'm glad that went so well for so long. I have worked with more store owners over the years who have had issues with not having things in writing, and it goes south usually when something happens. Okay, you could say the pandemic is happening. You could say the owner gets sick, and now all of a sudden you're dealing with his kids or his third wife or someone else as a landlord. Okay, who isn't in the landlord business. I had one store owner that I worked with for a long time, and we actually reworked his whole lease, had everything all done. I worked with them and their landlord, and we really worked out a good and fair lease, and especially because that market had gotten really, really hot. So it really protected both the landlord and the store owner. It was a good and fair lease. Went to sign it, was going to sign it, and the owner had a heart attack and died. Either the day before or on his way to sign it, and then he was dealing with his kids, and they lived in the big city and thought their fathers didn't know how to charge rent, and they didn't know how to manage properties, and it just became a big nightmare. And I've worked. I've dealt with a lot of things. Oh, Krita, that's awful being without restrooms for nearly 2 weeks. It was hard enough when we had it at our warehouse for a couple of days when we were without bathrooms because of a draining issue. But till it was able to get fixed. But that's awful. But I'm glad that you're not on the hook for the expense of it. But not having bathrooms and having a staff of all women is not good. That is not fun. It's not fun with anybody. I don't care if you had a staff of all men. It's not fun. In a story that many will find hard to believe, life is good. Okay, I mean, a company that is based around life is good. Okay, nearly went bankrupt last year. Was readying for bankruptcy last year. Why? Because 50% of more than 50% of their business was wholesale. Okay, so you talk about a pivot. And their business model was doing shirts and things, ordering them made in large quantities, and that whole business model went down the sewer pipe. Okay, that's where that business model went. Okay, but what's interesting is their pivot. Okay, they said, I'm not going to do this. I'm going to go on full offense. Full offense. We can take the easy route and go apply for bankruptcy, or we can do the hard work and get on offense. And that's what they did. That's what you guys have been doing for the last year. Okay, they got on offense. They changed their model. Instead of having shirts pre-printed, they bought shirts in bulk that were blank and printed small batches throughout the pandemic and sold direct or in small orders with timely things, from mask wearing to anti-mask wearing to whatever the cultural thing was of the moment. They were able to respond to it more quickly, be more nimble, and end out with their best year ever, and are on track to have an even better year this year because they're more diversified and a better, stronger company, like many of you are. Okay, so it's not just you fighting your way through this. Life is good. Almost life wasn't good. Okay, but now it is, and I like seeing them fight their way through. Like so many have. I mean, that was a real discussion with my accountant today, because obviously he has a very diversified customer base, and the ones that are making it through and the ones that aren't, and different businesses that are shutting down, even in hot markets. He had a car dealer shutting down at the end of this month, even at this point, in a hot market, a long established one. And so there's a lot going on, people. There's a lot going on, and a lot of people fighting. So don't stop fighting. This pandemic is not over. Okay, it is not over, but we're going to the other side, people. That is what we do here. Do you know what hang on a second, I want to make sure I pronounce this almost correctly. Hang on a second, I got to find do you know what a chugi is? Do you know what a chugi is? Well, you know it when you see it, a chugi. Okay, that is the new hip term for something that's not quite basic, which can describe someone who's a conformist or perhaps generic in their taste. And it's not quite uncool. It's not embarrassing, and it's not always negative. It's a chugi. Well, so a chugi. It could be chugi. It could be a chugi, Sherry. So Sherry, great question. Customers are going to be bringing in clothing that was purchased more than a year ago, because people haven't been buying for more than a year. How do we respond to that? Okay, you don't respond. I got a lesson from Sue McCarthy many years ago. Okay, and her lesson is uh, is to look at a piece of clothing blind, and one of her ways of teaching that is to cover up the label. Okay, to not start with the label. Okay, is this clothing stylish? Is this clothing stylish? Is the style in style? Is the material of quality? Feel all the things. Don't start with the brand. Don't start with the purchase date. Don't start with the show me your receipt. Okay, show me the style. Is this in style for your market? And start there. Okay, don't put a date on it. Okay, because some things were ahead of their game, and some things have come back. Okay, so don't put a date on it. That was her way of doing it. It is her way of doing it. And why not learn from the best? I remember that lesson very clearly from her. She'll probably be like, "What lesson?" But that was a lesson of hers. I mean, you have to understand your market and where you come from in it. Um, but that is the way I would approach it. I wouldn't just use a date, because you're limiting yourself. You're limiting yourself, and it's so important, Sherry, right now to have inventory. Okay, to have inventory, because the traditional retailers do not have it. Okay, they are behind and very limited in what they have. They have no depth to it. So if what they have width. They might have width, but they don't have depth. They don't have quantity. They don't have sizes. Um, hey, Rose, I love hearing that you've changed and you're never going back to the old way. I love it. But it's a constant adaptation. Okay, you have to remember that change is constant. That article I read you guys a couple of weeks ago, that inspirational article of the gentleman in Bowling Green, Kentucky, who for 80 years now, or 60 something years, has constantly evolved, is constantly changing. It is a key to it. Okay, is a key to it. These are things, you have to keep on changing. Actually, that was a conversation with my banker today. You have to keep on changing. I've had lots of conversations today. I mean, partly it was funny because I didn't get a lot done on my list, but I did a lot of these important get-togethers, accountant, banker, but it was all just good stuff. It was touchy-feely meetings. It wasn't designed as high dive business stuff. But they look to me a lot of times for what's good in the world. Give me some good news. Tell me what good things are happening. And so that is it. But chugi is the new term for something basic. It is a internet term. So if you see it, now you have heard it. Okay, if you see it, it's being used on TikTok and other social friends that they keep on seeing it in videos. Oh, that's so it's chugi. It's chugi. That's just chugi. Can't make this stuff up, people. I can't make this stuff up. I wish I was. But I am not. Hey, we've talked about Sezzle and Klarna and Afterpay as pay in 4 members that people are using on their websites. Shopify is introducing their own pay in 4 method. It's basically the same thing. It's basically the same cost. It's something to be aware of. Okay, whether you take advantage of it or not, it is something for you to be aware of. These installment plan things are about increasing your sales amount. Okay, and increasing that and kicking that up. So if you can do that, that is good. If it becomes too big a part of your business, the problem is that you need to account for the cost. Okay, like interest-free financing on furniture for 12 years. isn't really interest free. I mean, there's a cost to that money and that handling. So you have to build it into the price. So, just be aware that they are doing that. Okay. The White House, like I told you earlier this week, is looking for businesses to kick it up to get people vaccinated. Give something to get people vaccinated, because that ultimately gets us back to normal. So they are working with all sorts of people. Get a shot at Albertsons, Safeway, and get 10% off your groceries. Get vaccinated at Target or CVS, and you'll get $5 off any purchase. And you can get a free donut at Krispy Kreme for showing your vaccination card. Sports leagues such as NASCAR, the NFL, Major League Soccer, and Major League Baseball are offering ticket giveaways and discounts on merchandise. The Cincinnati Reds are offering tickets for just $10 to fans who show their COVID-19 vaccination card. That sounds like they're overcharging. The NFL, you can get 25% off at NFLshop.com if you're vaccinated. You can win a trip to the Daytona 500 and visit Rose's store at the Fashion Safari. No charge to come visit Rose if you get the free tickets to the free trip to the Daytona 500. Major League Soccer clubs are offering a 30% discount for in-stadium merchandise purchases. And if you're in Connecticut, New Jersey, and other states, you know what they'll give you? Starting May 19th, when they're dropping the restrictions, New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, when they're dropping the restrictions, which is more of a political decision, they're dropping all the restrictions on May 19th, they'll buy you a drink. They will buy you a drink. Customers who present their proof of inoculation and buy food from the restaurant hosting them can select an alcoholic or non-alcoholic beverage off a menu drafted by the participating place. The offer begins on May 19th, the day the capacity and virtually other restrictions are removed in these states. So you can get a drink on us. Again, partly to get people vaccinated, partly to get people back out at restaurants and out doing things. So it's a combination of marketing ploy. Starting today, Walmart and Sam's Clubs are welcoming COVID-19 vaccine walk-ins. All the pharmacies at more than 5,100 Walmart and Sam's Clubs are taking walk-up customers for the vaccine. To get people out and get them vaccinated. We've talked about incentives for vaccination, and now companies are talking about penalties for staff refusing to get the vaccine. Despite the current lack of legal clarity on mandatory staff vaccination, most employers are now saying they will require some, if not all, of their staff to be inoculated against COVID-19, especially before allowing them to return to the office. For workers who refuse to get the jab, employers are already identifying possible consequences, among them the likelihood of termination. This is according to an Arizona State University and Rockefeller Foundation survey, which found 58% of employers are inclined to make immunization mandatory for all, if not a segment of their workforce. Of those employers with a hard stance on vaccination, 42% will prohibit unvaccinated workers from returning to the office, and 35% will impose penalties. This is going to develop. I don't know where this is going to go, but obviously no one wants to be shut down again after reopening. You go through all the work of reopening offices, okay, which is going to be a key to getting cities and restaurants and retail in downtowns and in business districts back together. is having people go back to an office is key to that, and it's key to company culture. We've talked about that a lot on here. You got to get people back to the office, and if you endanger that, that's a problem. So we'll see what happens with that. In this round of the PPP, by the numbers, 748,581 loans have been approved, with an average loan size of $25,614. On this day in history, Alan Shepard was launched into space aboard the Freedom 7 space capsule, becoming the first American astronaut to travel into space. What is going to be your space shot? Think about that. Think about that. What shot will you take that will be like a space shot? Do I think there will be a big fake vaccination card business? I think there'll be printers printing them off day and night. I think there will be that day and night. But I think, even though most of the U.S. has been against it, okay, based on what is happening in other parts of the world, especially Europe, what the cruise lines are talking to get back to business and such, I think eventually there is going to be some sort of vaccine passport. I think there has to be some sort of electronic verifiable thing that's going to come out at some point. And I don't know when that's going to be. And quite honestly, I don't know why a person who is against getting the vaccine would then be willing to carry a card that says they have it. I think most of the people that are fundamentally strongly anti-vaccine will also be strongly against holding a fake card that says they got it. That's just me, personal opinion, editorial there on that. What would you do with $660,000? $660,000, people. That's almost, that's almost real money. Okay, if you ran a pizza place, and you got a 600, well, maybe for the free drinks, Kelly, but I think it's not going to be the great drinks that are free. That's what I'm saying. That's just what I'm saying. If you owned a pizzeria and you got a $660,000 PPP loan, what would you do with it? Rose would retire. Rose would retire. Well, yes, Kathy, you would buy alpacas. You would sell the business, okay? And then you would buy an alpaca farm in Vermont. Needless to say, the feds, it's not, alpacas are not a boat. I have not covered that you can't buy alpacas. Let me cover it here. Unless you are already an alpaca farmer, you cannot buy alpacas. No alpacas. The feds will come out after you. I mean, no matter how cute your alpacas are. They even let the media in to take pictures of the alpacas on his farm. Okay? That is not helping his case. He's going to get some jewelry around his wrists. Again, as I talked about last night, if you have not gotten your PPP or second PPP yet, there is still money available, but you have to deal with a community development financial institution. There are community development financial institutions throughout everywhere. It is the guy in Massachusetts. It is the guy. You're going to hear stuff like this all over the place. All over the place. It's going to happen. You can't make this stuff up. But community development financial institutions, there is money, especially. I know nothing about alpacas. I barely know anything about my dog. Okay, when he cries, he wants to eat. When he looks at me, he wants to eat. That's what I know about my dog. Um, but there is money out there for women-owned businesses for the PPP. If you haven't gotten your first one or your second one yet, it is out there. It is available. Go get it. Time is running short. You know what else is running short? This broadcast. But you know what? This broadcast and everything that I talk about, and all the files I reference, go over to nerds.org/resale strong by noon the next day. Noon, I tell you, it's amazing. Thank you, Adele and Cassandra, for making that happen. Everything is there, including a direct link to the YouTube channel. You're not alone running this store, where you can like, comment, subscribe, and yes, you can ring the bell. Ring that bell so you know when a new video drops. Yes, you can. You can also share it with all your friends in business. The butcher, the baker, the candlestick maker, a legitimate alpaca or llama farmer. Not the fake ones. We want to help everybody get across the finish line. Everybody, no matter what they do, as long as they're a legitimate business. We want to help them. I'm here every night in the Nerds private Facebook group. But if you have a question, and broadcasting on YouTube, but if you have a question in between, email me, Neil, Neil, at ECIstores.com, Neil at ECIstores.com. We start this program every night with the Good Morning, Good Night book. The Good Morning, Good Night book is how we start this program every night. Tonight, we're on page 108. If you were not here at the top of the program, our good morning is, good morning. You, yes, you are stunning. Use your power wisely. Our good night tonight is good night. Good night. You are stunning. Lay down your burdens. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Neil Abramson. I do like a good party, a wedding, a bar mitzvah, an alpaca parade. I don't know. We will party again. I mean, what does the guy from the Justice Department do that repossesses the alpacas and llamas? I don't know. What do they do with them? I don't know when we'll party again, but we will party in person. And when we do, I will be there with you. Yes, maybe even in Iowa. I've been to Cedar Rapids. I have partied in Cedar Rapids. We will party again. But until then, and until tomorrow night at more 8 than ish, know that you, and you, but most importantly you, yes you, you're not alone running this store. Have a great night, everybody. I will see you tomorrow. It's time for dessert.